Hello and welcome back to a brand new special effects video. So today's video is going to be a look where I'm going to kind of have like a sewn up mouth sort of thing, like my mouth split and then sewn up, that sort of thing. Just stay tuned to see and you'll see what I mean. Before we get started though, please remember to like and subscribe and let's go. So for this look I'm going to use Sculpt gel. This is like a silicone, as it says really, Sculpt gel. So I've already mixed it, so I'm just going to start applying it now. But to mix it you have to do equal parts of part A and part B, and then like half of that of part C to get the right consistency. You can leave yours clear or colour it afterwards, but I've coloured mine whilst mixing it, and I'm just going to apply it to the area that I want it. I'm just going around the edge sort of thing. I can see very well on the camera, so we'll leave this. Just going around the edge of my mouth. Just like that, and then you can, and then the sort of thing you want to do is use your spatula and start like blending it into your skin like that. So I'm just moulding it into the shape that I want, and I'm just going in and blending out the edges. Obviously like this is going to be like a wound, so it doesn't have to be neat, but I'm going to continue to do that. I kind of like this kind of smile look, and I'm going to stitch it up over that. But yeah, and I just go in and blend out the edges. I sometimes go in and lift the inner edge just so it looks more like lifted skin. So I've just shaped the rest of it and I'm just blending it into my skin. This is the sort of shape that I'm going to give myself, like a jokery mouth sort of shape. So now I've got the shape that I want and I've blended it all out. I need to wait for it to dry, so that's all I'm going to be doing. This can take like 20 minutes, so I'm just going to be waiting for it to dry. I'll come back once it is dry. So I now believe that this is mostly dry, so it might still feel a tiny bit sticky, but you'll know when it's, you just know when it's dry, like it's not moving around anymore. So I'm just going to powder it to take away that stickiness. This just helps to keep it in place as well, and like I said, take away any stickiness. And now that that's dry, you can start doing the next steps. So the next step, I need to colour the inside. I'm sorry if you can hear the hoover, my mum chooses the worst times, I promise you, to do the hoovering. So I'm going to take this dark colour here and this reddish colour. I'm going to mix them together and then add a little bit of IPA to water it down as well. But this is the colour that I'm going to colour like the inside, because it needs to be like quite dark. And we're going to put blood over it anyway, but it needs to be like quite dark and just like bloody. So I'm going to add a tiny bit of IPA. I've just got like a little desky bit here with like a mixing board on, so I'm just going to pour a tiny bit of my IPA and I'm going to mix them together. The IPA just waters it down a little bit so it goes further and also doesn't look so painted on, and that's one thing when you're doing special effects makeup, you don't want it to look painted on. So I'm just going to focus this on the inside of the wound and then we can paint the outside. New lipstick. Please don't get it in your mouth though. I think I might add a tiny bit more of that darker purpley colour just to give it, I nearly dropped my brush, just to give it that look. That's a bit better, just a darker, bloodier look. And just keep this on the inside and we'll focus on the outside after. So next I'm taking the same red colour and just a bit more IPA to make it even more watered down, and I'm going around the wound with that, and it kind of like soaks in, and then you kind of also want to pat it in with your skin because you don't want the outside to look anything like this. You just want to make the silicone around the edge look sore and just like it's your skin, like it's sore. So I'm just going to continue that all the way around. So yeah, that's what that's looking like. And now we're going to stitch. Right, so I've now got a needle and thread, and the reason I opted to use silicone rather than scar wax is because scar wax won't let you thread it through, it'll just move around and it's really difficult, whereas this sticks to your skin really well and literally, like, you can see it moves with you. So I'm just going to start by stitching through the edge, and please, you don't want to, please be careful, like if you're doing this, please don't go through your skin. Make sure you are only going through the silicone, but you do kind of still want to hold it in place because you don't want the silicone to pull off. But yeah, I think I'm just going to continue to do that. It's so hard to see, like my eyes are really shocking. I've got to go like this close to my mirror. Just be gentle when you're pulling the needle and thread through, because you don't want the silicone to really lift up. Mine's gonna knot anyway, I can tell, look. Eek. Untangle that. This is probably gonna be like the longest part, but I think I might leave it like a little bit unthreaded like that, just to give it a cool effect. So I am going to continue to do that, and I will come back when I'm nearly done. I'm going to tell you that I didn't think this through when I decided to make a YouTube video of a special effects look on my mouth being sewn up like that. I had to think that I wouldn't be able to talk very well. But as you can see, I've fully sewn it like how I want it to look, and I've just left this hanging here because I think it looks quite effective. Now it's time for the blood. So I think I'm going to use some of this Graftobian blood gel, and I'm also going to use a stipple sponge, and what else? I'm going to use some of this Robert Smith runny blood just to drip down the edges at the end, some congealed blood. So let's just start bloodying it up. You want to aim the blood all in the centre, but just go for it. That is a lot. Oh, it's all dripped on me. Excellent. I'm just going to stipple some blood around the wound, just like this, just to create a more bloodier effect. And I'm going to drip some. So that was the finished look. I hope you like how it turned out, and I hope this tutorial helped you in case you want to make the same sort of look or just make it your own by changing a few things. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.